Hey everybody, today we're talking about, can fibroids prevent pregnancy? I'm Dr. Perkins. Let's talk about how these fibroids can affect you and everything you need to know about them. Let's come on in. We'll dive into how fibroids affect fertility. We'll talk about which fibroids are most problematic. And lastly, we will cover what to consider treatment-wise when you have fibroids and you're planning for pregnancy. Now, if your fibroids are in the muscle area, they're intramural, these can cause problems later on in pregnancy, but not so much in the beginning of pregnancy. They can cause hemorrhaging at the point of delivery. They can cause cramping and pain as well, but you can continue with the pregnancy. Your pregnancy will grow quite well and they won't interrupt as much. What we do find is that if those fibroids are much larger though, they may prevent baby from flipping in the right direction, meaning head down, when you're in your third trimester and preparing for delivery. So your baby may be in a breech position because those fibroids intramurally may prevent baby from flipping head down. Fibroids on the outer parts of the uterus usually cause no issues. You can have 1,000 of them there and they won't affect your growing pregnancy. Now there is one particular situation where this may actually be a problem, and this is at the point of conception. Now I'm going to pull out a fibroid, my version. This is your fibroid. Welcome. And so in this one scenario, even if the fibroid is on top of your uterus, on the outer parts of your uterus, this can be a problem, and I'll show you. If this fibroid is located right here, and actually let's put it right on top, right here, okay? So it doesn't look like it's in the way of anything, right? Well, the problem here is that this fibroid can push on your fallopian tube and block pregnancy from happening. Why? Well, as we mentioned earlier, egg and sperm needs to meet in the fallopian tube for conception to occur, for fertilization to happen. If this fibroid, even though it's on the outside, presses on that tube, you probably can't actually see the length of this tube because it's very small. And it's actually, you know, when you think about how your true structures are in your pelvis, they're really like smaller than a straw. It's a very small area that egg and sperm needs to travel through. And so it's very easy for a mass or a tumor of this size or even a smaller one. So even if it was this small, it can still press on those tubes and occlude the space so that egg and sperm won't meet. And so it's important to know that this is not really size dependent, it's location dependent and can block you from getting pregnant. Outside of that, these fibroids on the outer parts of the uterus are not problematic. So what do you do now if you have these fibroids and you're concerned with whether or not they can prevent your pregnancy from occurring? Well, if you can speak with your providers and come up with a plan before you get pregnant, that would be ideal. If you're currently pregnant and you're just like, listen, doc, it's too late for that, we have a growing pregnancy, then I first say congratulations. The second is to make sure that you are talking with your doctor and creating a plan for your ultrasounds to be done and your physical examinations so that you can watch and track how these fibroids are moving. If you are in a position where you can remove the fibroids before you get pregnant, then I would absolutely recommend that. And this is if they're in that inner space or if they're in an area that could prevent egg and sperm from meeting together. I hope this makes sense today. It's been a pleasure talking about this topic, and we have so much more to talk about. So if you hang around on my channel, you'll see a few more videos that will talk about fibroids and fibroids in pregnancy. Thank you so much for joining us today. Leave a comment and share your experiences below, and join us for the next episode. I'm Dr. Perkins, a board-certified OBGYN, and as always, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for joining us.